Section 7 of Birds, Volume 2, Number 2, August 1897. Recorded for LibriVox by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. The Kentucky Warbler. Between 60 and 70 warblers are described by Davy in his Nests and Eggs of North American Birds, and the Kentucky Warbler is recognized as one of the most beautiful of the number, in its manners almost the counterpart of the golden-crowned thrush, soon to delight the eyes of the readers of birds, though it is altogether a more conspicuous bird, both on the account of its brilliant plumage and greater activity, the males being during the season of nesting very pugnacious, continually chasing one another about the woods. It lives near the ground, making this artfully concealed nest among the low herbage and feeding in the undergrowth, the male singing from some old log or low bush, his song recalling that of the cardinal, though much weaker. The ordinary note is a soft "ship," somewhat like the common call of the pewee. Considering its great abundance, says an observer, the nest of this charmer is very difficult to find. The female, he thought, must slyly leave the nest at the approach of an intruder, running beneath the herbage until a considerable distance from the nest, when, joined by her mate, the pair by the evident anxiety misled the stranger as to its location. It has been declared that no group of birds better deserves the epithet pretty than the warblers. Tanagers are splendid, hummingbirds refulgent, others brilliant, gaudy, or magnificent, but warblers alone are pretty. The warblers are migratory birds, the majority of them passing rapidly across the United States in spring on the way to their northern nesting grounds, and in autumn to their winter residence within the tropics. When the apple trees bloom, they revel among the flowers, vying in activity and numbers with the bees, now probing the recesses of a blossom for an insect, then darting to another, where, poised daintily upon a slender twig, or suspended from it, they explore hastily but carefully for another morsel. Every movement is the personification of nervous activity, as if the time for their journey was short, as, indeed, appears to be the case, for 2 or 3 days at most suffice some species in a single locality. We recently saw a letter from a gentleman living at Lake Geneva, in which he referred with enthusiasm to birds, because it had enabled him to identify a bird which he had often seen in the apple trees among the blossoms, particularly at the present season, with which he was unacquainted by name. It was the orchard oriole, and he was glad to have a directory of nature which would enable him to add to his knowledge and correct errors of observation. The idea is a capital one, and the beautiful Kentucky Warbler, unknown to many who see it often, may be recognized in the same way by residents of southern Indiana and Illinois, Kansas, some localities in Ohio, particularly in the southwestern portion, in parts of New York and New Jersey, in the District of Columbia, and in North Carolina. It has not heretofore been possible, even with the best painted specimens of birds in the hand, to satisfactorily identify the pretty creatures, but with birds as a companion, which may readily be consulted, the student cannot be led into error. End of section 7. This recording is in the public domain.